Hi all, welcome to another session of our PYQ discussion. So we are dealing with Child Development and Pedagogy, Chapter 6, Piaget, Kohlberg and Vygotsky, Constructs and Critical Perspectives. In last class, we already discussed two questions and their answers. Next, we are moving on the we already discussed three questions and their answers. So today we are going to start our discussion from question number 4. The question number 4 is, according to Vygotsky, zone of proximal development. It's another important area from this chapter, that is ZPD, or which is also known as zone of proximal development. So according to Vygotsky, what do you mean by zone of proximal development? The options are given there. First one is zone democrating the support offered by the teacher. Second option, what the child can do on her own which cannot be assessed. The third option, the gap between what the child can do independently and with the assistance. And the fourth option is the amount and the nature of support provided to the child to achieve her potential. Okay, so you can pause the video and try to find out the answer. So let's move on the answer. So here the correct answer is option number 3, that is, it is a gap between what the child can do independently and with the assistance. So we already discussed about the zone of proximal development in our theoretical classes. We know that it is actually a gap between what a child can do independently and with the assistance. So ZPD is the gap between these two things. Okay. So according to Vygotsky, the zone of proximal development is the distance between what a child can do independently, that is without help of the teacher or without help of the anyone, okay, and what the child can do with the guidance. So this gap implies the zone of proximal development. Okay, that is scaffolding or collaboration, okay, from teacher, parent or peer. Okay, so here the ZPD is not only associated with the teacher, it may be the parent, it may be related to parent, peers, teacher, etc. Okay, anyway, it is a gap between these two things. Next, question number 5. The concept of conservation proposed by, it's actually proposed, not prepared, it's actually spelling mistake, sorry for that. The concept of conservation proposed by Jean Piaget, actually another spelling mistake is there. It's actually happens due to while I'm copying this question paper from previous year questions, so by taking screenshot and put into Google Lens, so that is why some mistakes are appearing in question and sentences. So it's okay, I'm corrected. So the concept of conservation prepared by Jean Piaget means that the certain physical propnites the same even when appearances change. It is important to protect and forest. One can arrive at the correct conclusion by systematically testing hypothesis. Long the perspective into consideration is a cognitive ability. So conservation, what do you mean by conservation according to Jean Piaget? That is the question here. Okay, so the answer is certain physical properties. So actually it's a properties, I'm sorry. Okay, the correct answer is the conservation means, according to Jean Piaget, conservation means certain physical properties remain the same even when appearance change. Jean Piaget proposed the concept of conservation. So the conservation concept is proposed by Jean Piaget during the concrete operational stage. Okay, we know that the stages proposed by Jean Piaget. So this term is introduced by Jean Piaget in the concrete operational stage, that is from 7 to 11 years. It means that children at this stage understand that quantity, mass, number or volume remains the same even if the shape or appearances changes. So that is the meaning of conservation according to Piaget. Okay, so this is the stages of Piaget theory. We know that there are 4 stages proposed by Jean Piaget, which is very important: sensory motor, pre-operational, concrete operational, and formal operational. And also remember the age range of these stages, and what happens at this stage is given in third column. Okay, so these examples and the explanation is very important. Piaget theory is very important. Okay, lots of questions are asked from these topics. Okay, so always remember this. Piaget theory, stages, and the ages start between each stages. Okay, so that is, we know that sensories start from 0 to 2, pre-operational from 2 to 7 years. So these ages is very important, and the corresponding examples of these ages are these stages are also important. Okay, so I hope you understand the session. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can feel free to ask you can feel free to ask in the comment box. Okay, so we'll replay. Okay, thank you. ഞാൻ അതാ അവിടെ പറഞ്ഞു, ഞാൻ ചോദിച്ചു.